It was a day that many people thought would never arrive. The leaders of Ethiopia and Eritrea on Monday signed a joint declaration of peace and friendship. The historic summit marked a start to normalization of ties between the longtime foes. Matthew Larotonda reports.
A warm farewell for the leaders of long-term foes Eritrea and Ethiopia, heralding the end of a 20-year military standoff. Ethiopia's Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed met his Eritrean counterpart, Isaias Afwerki, for a historic summit at which a peace deal was signed, meaning a 2-decade state of war between the neighbors appears to be over. Embassies will be reopened, flights between the two capitals will resume, and direct telephone connections will also be restored. And in a potential economic boost for both countries, landlocked Ethiopia will work with Eritrea to develop its ports on the Red Sea coast. The talks were the product of an unexpected peace initiative by Ethiopia's new reformist prime minister, who was only elected in April. Last month, Abiy surprised his country by accepting a ruling that awarded disputed territory to Eritrea. The East African neighbors fought a war in the late 1990s in which around 80,000 people died. Full-blown fighting ended in 2000, but troops have faced off across the disputed border ever since. With both leaders now promising love and peace between the nations, the hostility may finally come to an end.
Well, Eritreans living in Israel expressed views of skepticism following the announcement that the war between Ethiopia and Eritrea is over. They are not convinced that life will improve back home because of the new developments.
I'm not happy with this peace agreement. Why? If we say that, why? Because this peace agreement is not including the Eritrean people. This peace agreement is done between the dictator in Eritrea and between the Ethiopian government. If this is not concerned about the Eritrean people, we are not accept and we are not going to back, because still the dictator is over there. So our problem in Eritrea is not because of the border. Our problem is because of dictatorship.
United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres praised the leaders of Ethiopia and Eritrea and said that sanctions imposed on Eritrea might become obsolete following the peace deal between the two countries. Speaking to reporters in the African Union headquarters in Addis Ababa, Guterres said UN would be entirely at the disposal of the two countries to do whatever is necessary to facilitate the success of the deal.
I believe that the recent evolution in relation to between Eritrea and Ethiopia is a very important signal of hope, not only for the two countries, not only for Africa, but for the whole world.
The UN imposed penalties, including an arms embargo on Eritrea in 2009, accusing it of supporting Islamist militants in neighboring Somalia, a charge Eritrea has denied.